Hello and welcome back to the Bakegate Sports Podcast. Today is a special day. We have a new analyst slash guest, and he'll introduce himself in a second. But
I'm Colin from Southern Soul Cooking. If you want any good recipes on soul food, follow me at Southern Soul Cooking on YouTube and Instagram.
yes, go follow him, guys. Go follow him. Great follow, great YouTube channel. Aspiring chef, help him out. Come on, guys. We know we have the biggest fan base on the internet. So, because Gavin is so inept at life and understanding hockey, which is life, we brought on a new analyst, Colin, who is going to be helping me talk about hockey because I love hockey, as you can tell by my jersey and hat, and he loves hockey by his jersey in the background and his hat and his shirt. So he beats me there.
Yeah, wearing a sharp shirt.
Memorabilia in frame. So today we're just going to talk about, it's going to be an NHL update video. We're going to talk about surprisingly good teams, surprisingly bad teams. Then we're going to talk about our midseason predictions of who we think the final four teams are going to be. I'll talk more about like what that means when we get to that segment. And then, of course, as you can tell by what we're wearing, we're Blackhawks fans. So we're going to talk about the Blackhawks at the end of the video because we know that the majority of you here probably aren't Blackhawks fan because there's a whole world out there, not just Chicago. I know, big shock. So let's get right into it. The first team that I have on my list for surprisingly good is actually the Canadiens with a plus 13 goal differential and a record of 9-4-2. Colin, why do you think they're doing so good?
They're doing good because of their goaltending. Price doesn't have to carry the entire team anymore. He's got Jake Allen, who can ease off the load. I was a big Jake Allen fan when he was in St. Louis, even though I'm a Blackhawks fan. And it's good to see him doing well once again after his disastrous 2018-19 season.
Yeah, he's been playing really, really well, and it allows Carey Price's back to not be broken by the entire city of Montreal anymore. So that's definitely been a big role. And another big role is Tyler Toffoli blossoming into a superstar. This man has been playing insanely well. He's been playing really, really well. I'm pretty sure he leads the league in goals, and he completely can't change the culture of he is actually tied for third in goals right now, but he changed the entire culture surrounding the forward court because, of course, with Carey Price in net, one of the best goaltenders of all time, their goaltending has been amazing ever since he was there. And their defense has been pretty good, especially since both captains over the past around 10 years have been defensemen in Subban, and then, of course, they swapped for Shea Weber. So that's always been a strong part of their game. But then they've always been struggling with forwards. And now that they have a true superstar forward in Tyler Toffoli, he's been really, really good. And everyone's feeding off his energy and his gravity because he's been playing so well that defenses collapse around him, kind of like collapsing around a guy in the post. If you're not a big hockey fan and you're trying to watch this to learn a bit more about hockey, they collapse around him like someone collapsed around a center in the post so he doesn't score. So then he gives it to open shot, so it allows open shot lanes for his other teammates and completely changed the culture, and they've been scoring more goals than ever. The next team we have in that division is the Edmonton Oilers. For Edmonton, this is crazy. In my opinion, I don't know if you agree, Colin, but you can say if you do in a sec, they have the best player in the NHL, arguably one of the best of all time already, in Connor McDavid.
I wouldn't say McJesus is one of the best already. He still has more time to prove why he's one of the best of all time.
I mean, that's true, but how do you not see it? It's like Patrick Mahomes. I know he's only a few years into his career, but how do you not see it? He's so good.
Dude, ask me in 5 years, and I'll probably say McDavid's all-time great.
Yeah. So we'll just have to wait on that one. But as of right now, I think it's not undisputed. He's the best player in the NHL. And then the disputed one is his teammate, Leon Draisaitl. Leon Draisaitl is only 2 points behind McDavid in leading the NHL in points, with Mitch Marner in third, 5 points behind him. So that just goes to show they're just in another echelon, another tier. Yet their record is 9-7-0. They are barely breathing above 500 with the number one and number two player in the NHL. This is insane. This is management incompetence and ignorance to a whole new level. This
It
is
kind of
like
reminds. Oh, you keep going.
this is like the Detroit Lions of the NHL. This is insane. Barry Sanders, Megatron, and Stafford are now Draisaitl and McDavid. Disappointments across the board.
It kind of reminds me. I'm also a Saints fan. It reminds me of like 2015 and 2016 when I first started watching them. Breeze was like historically good those years, yet he had no defense. They were 7-9 both those seasons. That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, no defense. You know, they're Adam Larson is their best defenseman, and to say he's not a top defenseman is not a stretch whatsoever. But another thing has been starting to turn around for them, and you know, what do you think that is?
Goalie.
Goalie, yeah.
Yeah, Mike Smith, he's been playing well. I mean, he had a bad preliminary round last year, but I mean, he's been able to recover, which is good.
Yeah, that's been very good. They were going to kill Koskinen.
Yeah, Koskinen, he was not playing well this year.
No. He's actually been shot at more 100 times. He leads the league in shots against, and it's a 100-shot gap between him and then whoever second is. I don't remember. I just remember seeing that stat. And so thank God that Koskinen's not going to get killed.
Yeah, seriously. So what's the third team you want to talk about?
That is the Vancouver Canucks. And what do you think their main source of struggles are from?
Well, considering they got a minus 15 goal differential, I'd probably say the goaltending.
Yes, yeah, that's a simple way to put it. Their goaltending has been.
They've lost 6 in a row.
Yeah, that's quite a feat. They went from 6-5 to 6-11. So, quite a feat by the Canucks there.
Yeah.
I think. Go ahead.
Oh, you go.
I think another reason is that Elias Pettersson not playing like Pettersson. He's not playing like a superstar anymore. I mean, he's playing like a star, but they need him to play like a superstar, especially since after that first line of him, Horvat, and Besser, after those guys, there's not a lot of depth, especially with Toffoli gone. So you need all you can get from him, and he has not been getting very, very many. He's not been playing very well, and he's not been giving his 100% statistically to help out the team.
Yeah, I remember he was like really good last year, but like he's kind of fallen off a little bit. I wouldn't say he's like fallen off a cliff, but he's definitely fallen off like at least a little.
Yeah, he went from, in my opinion, another hot take here. We're full of hot takes. Top 5 player in the NHL probably last year or the year before, and dropped all the way down to, I'd say, outside the top 10 this year.
Yeah, no doubt he was top 5 last year.
Yeah, he was. His shot is one of the most buttery. There's a hockey bro term for you guys. Oh yeah, we're cool. Buttery smooth wrist shots in the NHL just has not been falling. So we move away from Canada. Thank God, because they're never going to win another cup again. Shout out to you, Canada, for not winning one since 1993. And we're beating you at your own game. How does it feel? Bet it feels awful. Next, we have the New York Rangers.
So yeah, the Rangers. So I mean, like their offense has been really good. Panarin, he's like a superstar. But what has been going on with like their goaltending? Like
yeah, I don't know.
Shesterkin. I mean, he's been playing all right. He has a .922. What?
I said, Shestroskin? Is that how you pronounce it?
I mean, he's got a 9.22 save percentage. But like when he's gone, it's been terrible.
Yeah, when they've put
hasn't been doing nothing.
Yeah, he's been not great this year.
Yeah, complete opposite. So what's the next thing from the East you want to talk about?
Well, first I want to talk about I want to quickly, step back for a sec. The Rangers won the lottery. Everyone knows how, not everyone, but you probably know if you're watching this video, at least this far in, at how the first pick was going to be chosen. That losers of the preliminary round were going to be chosen. The team that won that was the New York Rangers. And I'm not that big on like college or juniors or WHL, OHL, all those like minor league type leagues, but I do know from what I watch about hockey and what I've heard about hockey, Lafreniere was like kind of a McDavid, not as good as McDavid or Sidney Crosby as a prospect, but like in that echelon of like that's the guy. Like that guy is gonna be good. He is a no doubt slam dunk. That guy is gonna be amazing prospect. He's gone. He's getting like 18 minutes of ice time per game. He's played 12 of their 13 games, I think, and nothing. 1 point, that's it. He's been disappearing from the box score. He's disappeared on the ice. Where is he gone? Where is he gone?
Disappeared faster than the plate of fried chicken when it comes to my place.
That's a good one. Yeah, he's been gone. So the next team is actually one of your other favorite teams besides the Blackhawks. So I'll let you take it away with the Florida Panthers.
Well, I currently live in Miami, Florida, and the Panthers. So the Panthers this season, despite the COVID outbreak they've only lost one game in regulation, and they're currently second in the Central Division after the Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning. I mean, their offense has been good, their goaltending has been okay, but man, their offense has been like surprisingly good this year. I definitely did not expect it from this team. I mean, Bobrovsky, after a terrible year last year, he has definitely bounced back. I wouldn't say he's worth the 10 mil, but he's definitely playing well. Huberto's been passing the puck nicely with 15 points.
Yeah, and he's been on a hot streak lately with the $10 million man. He's been kind of on a hot streak. He started out the year all right, not great, but he's been on a hot streak in their backup. He's actually been playing well, which is always important. And I think this will start to show a theme here is that you need goaltending and goaltending depth to really succeed in the NHL. So in my opinion, hot take alert, wee woo. Oh yeah, not cringy. We're not cringy. That the goaltending is the most important position to any team's success in any sport.
Should I call a fireman for that hot take?
Yes, yeah, we need one. 911, hello? We're going to need some help. The good old Shannon Sharp. We need some help over here. We're killing them. So, we're just killing you guys, the viewers, with hot takes. And, prove me wrong. We're going to talk about a few more good teams and bad teams. And you'll notice goaltending and goaltending depth is the most important thing in all of sports. And they've gotten, speaking of depth, another good thing in the NHL is forward core depth. And that's what they got in free agency this year by signing a bunch of minor free agents, and as well as Duclair was kind of like the biggest one because they have a good top line with Huberdeau and Barkov, in my opinion, one of the most underrated players in the NHL. Like, he's never talked about, even on a national NHL scale, let alone a national scale. Really no NHL players do anymore, but he definitely doesn't. And he's been quietly like a top 10 to 15 player in the NHL, an upper echelon player. And he's been really good this year again.
I never got why Chicago traded Duclair. I always really liked him.
He was in Chicago? I'm going to be honest. I did not know. Duclair was in Chicago?
Yeah, Duclair was for like the first part of the 2019 season. He was a Blackhawk.
Really?
Really?
No way. That's crazy. I did not know that. Was he our prospect?
No, he was with Arizona, but then Arizona traded him to us. Then I think we traded him to Columbus for some dumbass.
So we traded him to Columbus. I thought he was traded directly. Yeah, no, yeah, you're right. So he was in Arizona. He was sent to us for 2017 to 2018. He played 23 games with us, and then we sent him to Columbus in 2018 to 2019, and then he spent a couple years and had a really good season, actually an All-Star season, in Ottawa
Wow.
last year, and then he's been playing well again this year. Yeah, he only had 8 points for us in 23 games, but you know,
Imagine being an all-star in Ottawa.
yeah, that's a tough one. But if he was with us in 2017, 18, 2017 and 18, he would have been, that's 4 years ago. Yeah, four. So he would have been 21. So I don't know how we not give him time because he's 25 now. I don't know how we didn't give him time, but yeah, apparently you
Guess it's just
apparently
being
you liked him, but obviously for good reason.
okay. And so that's what we have to talk about. The Florida. What's next, Josh?
Columbus. We have the Blue Jackets next.
Oh, the Blue Jackets. To me, the Blue Jackets are always a team that's just like there, but this season they've been a little more than just there.
In which direction do you think?
Personally, I think they're not really doing that well. I think they're just slightly below average, even though they're like third in the Central. But like, come on, they've lost to the Hawks like the last few times they've played. It's like they're not that something like doing that well. What do you have to say about that, Josh?
Yeah, well, don't speak too soon because I'm pretty sure we're losing to them right now. I'll have to double check that, but yeah, Columbus. Yeah, we're losing right now. End of the second period, it's 2-1 Columbus as we're recording this video. I personally like Columbus. I had family friends who lived there. We were gonna go see a couple games last year, but again, Corona existed. Thanks for that, but. Yeah, I mean, Korpisalo hasn't been playing very good, and Merzlikins is now injured. So, of course, you have your worst goaltender of the two playing more often. And then their forward depth is kind of gone. Like, they're kind of disappeared. And they have exchanged really, really good players. Two top 20 players in Pierre-Luc Dubois, one of my favorite names in the NHL, up there with Gabriel Landeskog, Mikko Rantanen, Semyon Varlamov. Amazing names. They all played for Colorado at one time as well. So Colorado must be
Sven Affogato.
What?
Sven Affogato, or however you pronounce his name.
I think, yeah, Affogato, Andrighetto, something like that. Great name, great hockey name there as well. So, I don't know why they attract all the good hockey names, but they do. And but back on track, Pierre-Luc Dubois has been swapped with Patrick Laine. Basically, straight up, there was a couple late round picks. I'm pretty sure a sixth and a fifth were thrown in. But Laine was actually the second pick in the 2016 NHL draft, and Pierre-Luc Dubois was the third pick, or the other way around. I don't remember. But the second and third pick in the 2016 draft swap places. And Laine actually hit an absolute laser, bar down, top shelf in the corner. I don't know how any goalie can save that. Amazing shot tonight. And he's been off to a hot start right now for 5 games played and 5 points. He's been off to a hot
6
start
tonight.
in Columbus. What?
6 tonight.
Really?
Yeah, because he got like another point tonight.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, Laine?
Yeah. Did he assist on Atkinson's goal?
Yeah, I thought he assisted on the first goal I scored tonight.
He was the one who scored the first goal.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. So, anyways, 4 or 5 points in 5 games played. Just, on pace for a point a game, which is always really good. That's a good, solid pace. That's when you're a good player, is a point a game. So, that's been a good trade for them. I don't know how Dubois has been because he had a 14-day quarantine. So he's only played like 1 or 2 games, and I don't know how he's been in those games. So we'll check back to you on the next update. And then we have another hot take. Seth Jones, best defenseman in the NHL. Prove me wrong. Victor Hedman, who? John Carlson, who? Don't care, don't matter. Seth Jones is better. He reminds me, a lot of prime Brent Seabrook. A lot of prime Brent Seabrook. Little bit less physical, but a big body. He's like 6'3" ish, big body, athletic. He skates a lot better than Seabrook ever did. But his stick skills are really, really good, like, blocking passing lanes and stuff like that. And just his ability to cut off guys trying to drive to the net with, his big body is insanely good. So I think he's the best in the NHL.
Brent Seabrook was like one of the best in the league.
Oh, yeah. So that's a good comparison. Back in like 2013, the Cup final, that year against Boston, really, really good. Do you have anything else to say about Columbus or any other team
Not
you've
really.
mentioned so far?
Nope.
Alrighty. So next, we have Carolina. They've been really good. They're tied for third in the Central Division with only 11 games played. Only 11 games played. The only team ahead of them with the same amount or less games played is the one loss in regulation Panthers. So Carolina's been playing really good, and it's because of one man, Peter Mrazek. Mrazek's been finally living up to his potential as an early round athletic goaltender. He's been playing really, really well this year. He leads the league in save percentage, even though it's only been 5 games. He still leads the league in save percentage, and he's top 3, I want to say, in goals against average. So he's been really, really good. And of course, finally, that's what they needed. During the deadline last year when my Blackhawks decided to stupidly trade Robin Lehner for absolutely nothing. I don't know how, I have no idea how Carolina couldn't give up more than a 17-year-old prospect who's like a lottery ticket, a third-round pick, and Malcolm Subban. How can they
And a
not?
bag of chips.
Better? What?
And a bag of chips.
And a bag of chips, yeah. I don't know how they couldn't put together a better package for Lehner, but the way Lehner is playing this year and versus Mrazek, honestly might have been a good idea. But, they've always been a really good roster. I think Jacob Slavin is another top 5 defenseman in the NHL. I love Teuvo Teravainen. He grew up on the Hawks as like a prospect and he matured, and he's been playing well this year. Aho Shashevsky, the guy who did the lacrosse goal. Do you know how to pronounce his name?
I should know since I play a lot of NHL, but I just call it the Michigan goal.
The Michigan goal? Michigan goal guy? Yeah. He's been playing well this year as well. And, it's been good. So, they've, of course, had a really good roster for a year or two now. They were the fun team in 2018-19, 2019-20. They had some expectations, and Mrazek and Reimer were both dealing with injuries throughout the year. You remember the David Ayres situation. So they finally have a goaltender to, back them up and really help that really good roster.
Ayres beat the team he was employed by.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. How? I was rewatching highlights of that. They had only a 3-1 lead. It was only a 2-goal lead, and they still lost.
That's the most Toronto thing ever.
Yes. Yeah, 1967. Does that piss you off? Or was it 63? Pretty sure it's 67.
It's 67.
67. Does that piss you off, Toronto fans? I know there's a lot of you watching. The whole city of Toronto's watching.
Yeah, Carolina, they're a fun team to watch. I'm glad they're good because I like watching them.
I do have a question for you. This is off our notes, off script a little bit.
Yeah.
They're black jerseys with the hurricane warning flags. What do you think? I've heard people on the internet hate them. I love them. You love them? Good taste.
I love them. I love like the flag. I love the outline. I love like the North Carolina shade outline in the middle. Love them. One of my favorites.
So good. I don't know why hockey teams don't wear more black. I get it. The Los Angeles Kings wear black, but their black's not that black. As in, they don't have black's their main color, but they also have a lot of gray. They also have a lot of white. So it's black with color. That looks way better than black with gray. But shout out, right? This is a shout out to Luca Celebre. I know you're watching, Luca. Bar Down, part of TSN, Bar Down Digital Sports Team. I'm going to put you in the comments, or not the comments, sorry, the description. I'm going to show you in the description, see if there's some comment. I don't know. If there's a way to physically notify you that I've shouted you out, This is the greatest clip of all time, Colin. By your face, I assume you haven't heard about Bar Down, have you?
I've heard of Bar Down. I've seen a
You've
few of
heard
their
of Bar
videos.
Down. Have you seen the video where they're grading the alternate jerseys from a few years ago?
I think so.
You think so? So a clip of it was hilarious because he said, Carolina, why are you called the Hurricanes? This is paraphrasing, of course. Why are you called the Hurricanes? Why are you called the Hurricanes? Why would you be called something that literally ravages your cities, your towns? Why would you ever decide that's a good idea? Funny thing, he's a fan of the Colorado Avalanche,
Oh yeah, he is in the Avalanche.
a natural disaster that ravages their cities. So, come on, Luca. The hypocrisy. I know this is like probably 3 years too late, but we're talking about it now. So, what are you going to do about it, huh? Square up. Come to Chicago. Let's move on. The next surprisingly good team is a team, probably the first team that we thought were going to be in the basement. We'll have another team next that we thought we were going to be in basement that are actually playing pretty average. And Colin is showing the hat.
Those would be our Chicago Blackhawks.
Well,
remember after they traded or released Crawford, I remember telling my dad, this is going to be the Blackhawks are going to be the worst team in the league. It's like, you never really know. You have to watch next season to find out. I'm like, whatever, Dad. And believe it or not, he was right. They're playing average right now.
Yeah, just above 500, one game. But they're currently losing to Blue Jackets. So screw you, Blue Jackets. Can you please choke? Thank you, like we did last night, giving up 2 goals in the final 3 minutes. Great job, Blackhawks. Or was it 2 nights ago? Whatever. We won't actually go in depth on them right now, but we will go in depth on them on their segment at the end of the show. So the final team we have, surprisingly good or bad, is the Anaheim Ducks. Another quick off-script thing. What do you think of their jerseys? Their normal white and black jerseys. What do you think?
They're okay. Not the best, not the worst, just okay.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people hate them. I personally, I don't like the black that much, but the white, I really like their white jerseys. The amount of orange on their white jerseys is Bonafisto, I think. I don't know. I'm failing a talent class. No, I'm not. I'm joking. So, next we have the playoffs. Oh, I didn't talk about John Gibson. I apologize. We're not going to the playoffs. John Gibson's back must be broken. This is the new Carey Price. I'm not saying he's good as Carey Price, even though he's really close because he's amazing. John Gibson's back must be in so much pain. This team has played 15 games, some of the most in the NHL, because a lot of teams, like I said, Carolina's only played 11, and in Vancouver, as I said, 6-11. They have played 17, so there's a big difference. They've played 15, and not a single player has scored more than 8 points. Not one. That's insanely inept. Insane. So that's not very good. So John Gibson's back must be hurting a lot, and I bet it is. But I thought they were going to be a basement team, and they've been pretty average. So that's good for them that their prospects are starting to develop. Granted, not that well in the goal-scoring department, but hopefully defensively, I have no idea. I mainly watch Blackhawks game and then whatever the primetime game is on Wednesday or maybe sometime during the weekend. So they aren't really on that often because they are Anaheim and not really that good. But they are average, and that's better where I thought they were going to be. So all thanks to one John Gibson.
So now we're going to talk about the playoffs.
Yep, now we're going to talk about the playoffs. So the format is basically 4 teams from each division make it. All 4 divisions are the Canada Division, the East Division, Central Division, West, as we've, all 4 of those divisions. And then 4 teams from each of those make it. And then those 4 teams play against each other. And then whoever has like the best record against them is going to be the winner of each division. So Colin and I are going to go through, and we're going to predict the winner and why we think they're going to win each division. And then if you want, Colin, this is another little extra thing. Do you want to say who we think is going to win the cup?
Yes.
I think we think it's the same team, but we'll say that. And then the Blackhawks send it segment 1, the show.
Can we talk about something real quick?
Of
Can we
course.
talk about how good this playoff format is compared to like the normal season's playoff format? I hate the wild cards. Why don't you just have the top 4 in each division just move on? That makes it way less complex, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree with you, but like, I do think it gives a shot for like when the Central Division was like a couple years ago, where the Central Division was like completely stacked and the West Pacific was trash. Um, it gave
Yeah, I
a
guess.
chance.
Yeah, I guess for a few years, like the Central did have 5 teams make it.
Yeah, so I think that's good. So I think there's pros and cons to both, but I think at least for the way they're structuring it this year, it's very good.
Or why not just go back to like 1v8, like 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, yada yada yada.
Yeah, like every other sports league that has a 7 game series. Like in other words, that's just the NBA. So let's start off with the Canada division, otherwise known as the 28 years without a cup division, the disappointment division. Screw you, you created the game, but we dominate it division. Who do you think's coming out of there?
This is gonna be a hot take. Montreal.
Hot take. Wow. And why do you think that? Why do you think Montreal's coming out?
They're either boom or bust, and I think now that they're gonna do like really well because I mean they have more playoff experience. I mean last year they of course beat Pittsburgh, so they have the experience against top teams. That's why I think Montreal is going to do it. Plus, they've been playing really well. Their goaltending has been good.
Of course, yeah. I personally think it'll be Toronto. I think that Mitch Marner has really taken a big step this year. Austin Matthews, of course, been Austin Matthews, going to be top 10 in points, going to be a decent defensive forward. He's going to be what he is. You know what you're getting out of Austin Matthews. But Marner's been the real surprise of really taking that next step. And if Campbell, their backup, Brian Campbell or Jake Campbell or James Campbell, one of the three, I don't remember. It doesn't matter.
Brian Campbell was defenseman for the Blackhawks when they won the cup.
Yeah, I do remember that. But if he can stay as consistent as he is now, which is playing as good or even outplaying Freddie Anderson, that'll be really good because the past few years, they just burnt out Freddie Anderson. That was the issue. They burnt him out. They, played him so much they had no backup. It was kind of like the Canadians were for a few years, kind of the same situation. Of course, Freddie Anderson's nowhere near Carey Price, but Freddie Anderson's a good goaltender, but he's been, burnt out by the time they reach the playoffs every year. Now that they have, hopefully, a good, consistent guy back there, he's been really good. And I have another question for you, Colin. So I'm colorblind. I can't see red or green any other colors. That's a little bit more complicated. We're not going to get into it. But
I'm actually colorblind as well.
Oh, well, that doesn't help. I was going to ask you,
It's
what
a blue
color
and
do you think the Toronto Maple Leafs wear?
purple.
That's what I thought as well. Gavin was telling me it was blue.
Yeah, well, I'm like blue-purple colorblind.
Oh, you are? Okay, so you would be even worse to help me out with this. Okay. Let's move on. The East, who do you have coming out?
East, I'm going to say Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
Mainly because, I guess their goaltending's been, really well, plus their offense is good.
Nice, yeah. They don't really have that one superstar. It's just a good deep team.
And plus, I mean, they want revenge for what happened last year, because remember last year, at the time of the lockout, at the time of the suspension of the season, they were actually, the betting favorite to win it all.
Yeah, they were on a hot streak there. I think they won 20 of 25 or something. Crazy like that.
Who do you think's winning the East?
Well, I actually have another hot take. The New York Islanders. I have the Islanders. I think that Sorokin and Varlamov. Varlamov is playing really good.
Yeah, operator, I need the fire department. Some guy just made a complete hot take.
That's yeah. He's been Varlamov's been really good. I think Barzell can be that superstar, and then they're deep all around. I mean, they have some good players all around, and they have what you need to go deep in the playoffs. And they've been, if you look at their past 2 years, the upset team. They weren't supposed to make it to the playoffs. Then they win a playoff series in 2019. 2020, they once again were matched up against, they were like, okay, they were matched up against your Florida Panthers. Okay, they're going to lock in. Borowski's going to shut them down. They're not going to have the star power to go up against Huberdeau and Barkov. Guess what? Boom. They win.
I actually kind of thought they were going to win against Florida like last year.
Yeah. So then they weren't supposed to then they face off against Philadelphia, I'm pretty sure, the next round. So I was right. Philadelphia. They played Philadelphia, and Philadelphia was the 1 seed at the time because they were really hot coming into the break, as well as they were really hot in the reseeding games, the preliminary games. And
yeah, didn't they win like the preliminary series or like the preliminary games?
Yeah, I think they won all of them. They also beat the Capitals as well. They knocked off the Capitals in the game before. So then they went on to beat the Flyers. So they faced off against the Lightning in the Eastern Conference Final. So I think that they didn't really change. They only got better at goaltender by adding Varlamov, because he was a part of the Colorado Avalanche last year, and they had Sorokin.
If I remember, against Lightning, they were down 3-0, but then they won the next 2 games. Except I guess they did lose in like game 7, but still, like they were down 3-0, but they came back.
Yeah, that was a fun little part there. They came back there, but then another fun part was that for the Avalanche, Stars, the Lightning, Bruins, the Flyers, Islanders, and the Golden Knights and Canucks series, all 4 teams had a 3-1 lead. All 4 teams that won those series had a 3-1 lead. The Knights, the Islanders, the Stars, and the Lightning had a 3-1 lead, blew it. Every single series went to a game 7, and then all the teams that had a 3-1 series lead won it. So the Canucks blew, or the Vikings, the Knights, the Golden Knights, 3-1 series lead, blow it, win game 7. Same with the Stars over the Avalanche, and then, of course, the other 2 teams in the Eastern Conference last year. So
they're kind of like a reverse Warriors.
Yeah, like a reverse Warriors. So that was just an interesting throwback stat there. But they've been the upset team over the past couple of years, and now it's time for them to make a deep playoff run and actually try and contend for the Cup. So that's why I have them winning the East. Next, I have the Central. I have Tampa. Pretty simple. Whole gang back together after winning the Cup last year. So, Braden Point took a pay cut, and Killorn took a pay cut. So no reason that they shouldn't be as good. And Vasilevsky's been kind of on a hot streak here as well. So no reason.
I know you're like this one. The Carolina Hurricanes. That's who I have.
Ooh, we got another hot take. More hot takes incoming. We woo. We're not cringy. Oh yeah. Go ahead with your.
Their goaltending's been amazing recently. They're a fun team to watch. So I'd really like to see them win. Let's hope it happens. Since my Blackhawks are obviously going to win.
I hope so too.
And for the West, I have the Colorado Avalanche. Because they've just been overall, they have a ton of depth. The goaltending's been good recently. And mainly just their depth. McKinnon is one of my favorite players in the league. It's always fun watching him play. So yeah, I got Avalanche. What about you, Josh?
I also have the Avalanche. So I also have the Avalanche because Grubauer has been so good. He's been playing the best out of any player who has more than 6 starts to their name. So the best 1A player in the NHL so far as save percentage. I also think goals against average, or he's number 2. He's up there. He's tied for second. So he's been playing really, really well. I think they're the deepest team. They also have the superstars in Landeskog, Rantanen, and Nathan McKinnon to get there. They also have depth with Brendan Saad. They also have Cale Makar, who's so good. I love watching him. I love Cale Makar. He's good.
Is it bad I forgot Saad was on the Avalanche?
No, I forgot about it for a while as well. But I was just checking their roster. I was like, oh yeah, he's there. That's weird. So, I really like their roster. Cale Makar is better than Quinn Hughes. I don't care, Canucks fans. I don't care that he has 17 assists. He has 1 goal. He's not that good. And Cale Makar is better. He's so much better. But fuck your uniform decisions. What the fuck? What the fuck are you doing, Colorado? What the fuck are you doing? You went from black helmets and black pants to the purple that you guys have on your jersey.
I like the purple.
You like the purple?
I do.
How?
It looks
How?
a little weird, but I like it.
Oh, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. Go back to the black. The black looks so much better.
It's actually like a burgundy, not really a black.
Well,
Or
it
for
was
being
close
that
enough to
guy.
black. Close enough. So thanks to those jerseys, I think that also Colorado can win. But if they don't and their jerseys decide to fuck it up because those are disgusting uniforms now.
Wait, question. What do you
yeah.
think of their reverse retro jerseys with like the Nordiques
Best
callback?
in the NHL. Best in the NHL.
I agree with you.
So good. So good. We actually had a video about the reverse retro jerseys, but then Gavin didn't decide to edit in time. So we haven't posted that yet, but we'll post it at some point. I think we'll redo it, but we'll see about that.
I do that video with you if you want.
What?
I do that video with you if you want.
Sure. We'll see. So next, Blackhawks. We're going to talk about the Blackhawks in depth here for the next 15 to 20 minutes. We'll see. Go ahead. What do you want to talk about the Hawks? Just take it away for a little bit.
Lankinen. I really like Lankinen. I think he's been playing well recently. He's definitely the best surprise of this season. I thought the Blackhawks were going to be one of the worst teams with goaltending. But I'm kind of wrong on that because, I mean, the goaltending isn't great, but it's better than what I expected. It's average. It's average-ish.
I don't know. Lakinen's been playing like a top 15 goaltender, top 10 goaltender. He's been playing really, really well.
But yeah, Subban, what do you say about Lankinen and Subban, Josh?
Well, I'll get into that when I start talking about my opinions with the Blackhawks. Do you have anything more you want to talk about with the Blackhawks? Anything you noticed? Players developing? Specifically about
the Anderson game was going to fall off a cliff.
Who do you think was back? Whoa! Who?
The haters. I remember I saw this one stupid video where it was like someone said Kane was going to fall off a cliff out of of 5 different players. He said Kane was most likely to fall off a cliff. No, Kane's still playing well. He's got 7 goals so far, which is 12th in the NHL. So yeah, he's still really well. He's still doing really well. I remember you telling me that DeBrincat's starting to turn to Panarin, which I really like. I remember really liking Panarin when he played in 2016 and 2017. As for development, the development's been going really well. Stan Bowman is surprisingly good at drafting, which is kind of weird to say because he's pretty bad at everything else. And what do you have to say about him?
So, yeah, I'd agree with you. I think I could speak for all Blackhawks fan that we all wanted, to guillotine Stan Bowman, and then the fact that he got a promotion after every fan wanted him gone. Do you
think he has incriminating photos of Rocky Wirtz on his phone?
Yeah, probably based on the fact that he got a promotion after everyone wanted him gone and his awful personnel decisions. Why would we ever want him back? And then ever since 2017, he's like, you know what? I'm going to hit on every draft pick. Every draft pick is hit. It's insane. Undrafted prospects. Crazy. Player development. Insane. He's been so good, and I don't know why. As you said, Panarin and DeBrincat are playing very similar. I mean, DeBrincat's playing like Panarin was when he won Rookie of the Year, and he helped Kane win a Hart Trophy. And if it weren't for McDavid and Draisaitl, Kane would be in the conversation for a Hart Trophy again, thanks to DeBrincat. And I'm not saying that Kane's only good because of the players around him, but he hasn't really had great line mates for a while now. And then finally, DeBrincat is really, shown up for the first time. And, not surprising it's for the first time because he's 24 now, so hitting his prime. He's been really good. Just a guy who could put the puck in the back of the net any way that Kane can get it to him. So as long as Kane can get you the puck, he can put it in the back of the net. That's how you become a good teammate of Patrick Kane, a good line mate of Patrick Kane, because he'll get you the puck. He's an amazing passer, of course, one of the greatest stick handlers of all time. I'd say the best. Am I biased? Yes. Still, I'd say the best all time. I've never seen anyone stick handle like he has, and he's an amazing tape-to-tape passer, especially in the I was gonna say red zone, but their offensive zone. Great like tape-to-tape passer in there, which is very hard with all the sticks and navigating and the vision. So he's been playing like a top 5 player at 33 or 34. He's so old. He should not be doing this. This is not something people do in the NHL, yet he has. It's been amazing to watch. And we got the next Corey Crawford. I think Lehkonen plays exactly like Corey Crawford. Not very athletic. He's not very big. They're both 6'2". They're not big athletic goaltenders. They're smart. They're amazing at decision making, and they have top-notch positioning. That's the best part, is his positioning is immaculate for a 25-year-old rookie. A developing goaltender. He is playing amazing right now, and he's just been so consistent with his positioning, and you could work off that, and that's great. And speaking of positioning, we have another goaltender who's the exact opposite. So you have Lehkonen over here on athleticism and size and stuff like that, physical ability right here, towards the bottom. I don't know if that's the bottom on your screen, but that's the bottom. His positioning over here towards the top. Malcolm Subban, whoop! Malcolm Subban is the exact opposite. Extremely athletic goaltender. Every time he plays, he puts up like this web gem of a save. But it's because he's out of position. He can't like skate back and forth across the crease, so he makes these diving type. What's the Sabres goaltender? I don't remember. Dominic Hasek.
Hasek.
Yeah, make these Hasek type saves. Not saying he's Dominic Hasek, but making these Dominic Hasek type saves just because he's out of position. Like, it's basic passes that he misses cross crease.
In my opinion, Hasek is the second best goalie of all time after Martin Brodeur.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's arguable between the two, but I agree with you that he's second best all time. But so I think they need to learn from each other. Like, I think Lehkonen needs to learn how to be more athletic and to be a bit more instinctive rather than thinking about it, because I feel like there's some decisions where he thinks about it a little bit too long and then he doesn't react in time. Where I think Subban, over pursues the puck sometimes and gets himself out of position. So if they can work together, I think they can be an elite goaltender duo. But granted, they're a bit older on the growing goaltender age, because Subban's 27, Lehkonen's 25. Yet they're both still young.
Subban's 27?
What?
Wow, he's older than I thought.
Yeah, he's been around the league a couple times. He went from Boston to Vegas in the draft, and then of course to us in the most recent expansion draft and the recent trade. So the young defensemen have really been progressing well. I think DeHaan has really turned himself into the best defenseman on our team lately, at least the last few games I've watched, with Murphy out. And then because Keith's lost a step, he's still the smartest defenseman. He still has great stick skills, but he just gets beat. He's slow now. It's sad to see. Zadorov is playing really well. He really locked down Patrick Laine last night or 2 nights ago. This is the first of the 2 Columbus games in early February. And I love Kurashev. Philip Kurashev, oh my goodness, he's so good. I love him so much, and Brian Hagel as well.
Yeah, I like Kurashev. He's been playing well recently. And that's what I have to say about Kurashev.
Yeah, it's just his passion and his pursuit in the neutral zone and back check ability stands out to me. So nice of him to be that good. Very nice of him. Thank you. So, unless you have anything else to say about any of the teams, any topics you want to bring up, shout yourself out again.
This could be a little hard to talk about, but do you think Taze will return, or do you think he's done?
To hockey or for this season?
To hockey. I think he's done for the season.
Oh yeah, he's done for the season. To hockey, as Blackhawks fans would know, and just by the sea, I'm wearing.
Here, let me get one thing.
That's a Taves jersey.
Yep, and I got this Taves jersey signed by the 2015 team.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love Taves. He was my favorite player for a long time. On the team. Of course, I loved Crawford because I'm a goaltender guy, and I like Doc a lot now. He's probably my favorite player on the team now. But for coming back to hockey, I sure as hell hope so. I have no idea. I don't know what's up with him, but I sure as hell hope so.
I heard some really bad rumors, which I really hope aren't true.
What were they?
ALS.
Oh yeah, I heard about those. Those are faked. Those are fake. Those aren't real rumors.
Okay, good.
Those were faked on the social media. I saw that and I had a heart attack, so I did some research into it. Literally no credible news source has ever posted anything about that being a thing. So
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
yeah. And as you would know, one of the most iconic Saints players of all time actually suffers from ALS. So it's a disgusting disease.
Yeah, Steve Gleason. Luckily, he's still around, which is good.
Yeah, it's a very bad disease. So, that is just a made up rumor, but the fatigue diseases, especially when you're playing such a what?
Who the fuck makes that up?
I don't know. Some weird people who have nothing.
How did it even gain traction? That's something I want to know.
People want to, they want to believe something that's out there, something that's crazy. They're like, oh my goodness, can you believe this? And then they do like what you said, they do, or what you did. They just kind of they don't check it online. Not like a knock against you. They don't want to go into the effort of checking online, and they just hear it. And they're like, oh my God, did you hear this? Did you hear that? That's how it spreads.
But yeah, I really hope Taves comes back next season. He was my favorite
me too.
player. He was my favorite player until DeBrincat's. I like DeBrincat now a lot.
Yeah, I think this team can win a cup if we just get a star defenseman. If we get that superstar defenseman, which Boqvist can, because he's still only 21. Can you believe that? We've drafted him 3 years ago, and he's still only 21. So I think Boqvist, he's coming back the Carolina game later this week from COVID. So hopefully he somehow magically progressed a lot. And he's our star defenseman. But I think we can honestly win a cup with this team still. One last ride for Kane and Taves. So let's hope
I think Taves can get at least one more cup with this team.
Yep. Let's hope we get to see it. Well, go like, subscribe, comment, tell us anything. We really need your help.
Once again, I'm Colin from Southern Soul Cooking on YouTube and Instagram.
Yeah, so if you want to go learn more about cooking, especially soul cooking, as in hence the name Southern Soul Cooking, go subscribe to him. I'll put a link to his channel in the description. Please go follow him.
Louisiana born, with some Texan heritage.
Yeah, very cool. Go follow him. Thank him for helping us with this video and helping with Gavin's ineptitude when it comes to hockey. Like, subscribe, reach out to me personally, because most likely you probably know me personally. If you've watched this far, you probably know me personally, so reach out, tell me what you think. If you want to reach out to Colin and tell him what you thought, be nice. He's new. We all got to work.
Yeah, don't hold back. Don't hold back.
You don't want anyone to hold back? All right. Yeah. Let the dog off the leash, guys. Well, thank you for watching. We really appreciate for you listening this far. Like, subscribe, go like and subscribe to Southern Soul Cooking, and see you guys soon.